Hello everybody and welcome back to Pravus Gaming, a more plaguing evolved custom scenarios. Last time we did the 7 deadly sins, which was pretty fun. It's actually on the most popular tab. Well, congratulations, good for you. Now along those lines though, I recently saw a request. Oh, there's an old version of Rise of the Catgirls. Huh. Who knew? Anyway, sorry, I did recently see a request that actually thematically kind of works with this one. Where is it? I believe it was called Religious Takeover, and I look at that and I'm like, yeah, that seems, well, there's 2 of them. Well, which one? I'm gonna go ahead and assume this one? Just convert all humans, or covert all humans, hide all humans, no. A new cult has formed, starting out as a small group. Can you take this new cult to form the next world religion? What kind of crazy beliefs can you get your followers to believe in? This actually kind of reminds me of Crest, which is a religion simulator game, which I haven't tried. But I did get a key from it from the developer. Maybe I should just video on that sometime. Anyway, yeah, it just seems sort of appropriate. Last time we did the 7 deadly sins, and now we're going to create a cult and try to save them from said sins. So, Religious Takeover, let's subscribe and give this one a shot. It's a Nurax worm, of course. Metabolic jump, genetic mimic, aquasite extremophile, symptostasis, all sounds reasonable to me. Putneyism? I'm sure I know what the reference is supposed to be, but it's escaping me at the moment. As a cult leader, your job is to create the most insane and crazy belief system you can and gather more people to your following. You are the founder of a new cult. Select the country you want to start your cult in and try to get your crazy ideas spread throughout the world. You know, the Nurax worm certainly seems appropriate for this one, but you know what also would have worked is the Shadow Plague. That would be hilarious. The cult leader traveling around converting everyone into his kind of vampiric cult followers and or killing them, you know, sacrificial rituals. Could be kind of fun. Nurax worm emerges. Let's get a look at the transmissions. We have Brainwashing 1. The start of any cult needs to begin with the brainwashing and corruption of a few unsuspecting people. Primarily affects rural and poor areas. I actually would say that the study of cults is something that fascinates me a little bit. Not because, like, I think that they're a good thing and I want to, like, emulate them or, you know, join them, or I think there's anything admirable about them. Mostly, I think it's fascinating the types of people that are attracted to cults. Usually, they're very vulnerable people who feel kind of ostracized from society. They don't really feel that they fit in, so they're looking for a sense of belonging and sort of a sense of family and being protected by said cult, you know? Kind of this us versus them mentality. It's fascinating, really. And kind of what kind of psychological developments come out of that. Anyway, we have Sacrifices 1. We sacrifice horses, apparently. Forget goats or lambs. Horses will do. Your cult believes in appeasing the higher powers. Sacrificing animals leads to higher severity, but also attracts the darker types to your following. Very severe. We also have propaganda broadcasts. You have gained control of a small television network. I don't know how I did that, but that's impressive. Broadcasting your ideas to the local community works especially well in rural and poor areas. So we'll double stack that here, which actually sounds okay. We'll grab it. Brainwashing 2. You now influence your followers even more, bringing new members into the fold. Pilgrimage. Your followers believe in visiting new lands to establish new cults via boat, following the ways of old. The ways of old? Alright, sure, why not? Aeronautics 1. Some of your followers believe in voyaging to other lands for short times to spread their beliefs to the natives of the land. Is this an air transmission? I'm assuming so based on the symbol. Doesn't really say so based on... I mean, aeronautics, I guess, kind of gives it away. But this description doesn't seem to lend too much credibility to that. Also, by the way, there's Propaganda Broadcast 2. You took control of a large global broadcast system, so you can now spread your influence through. Works especially well in the wealthy and urban areas. Alright. Meeting Grounds 1. Your cult begins to meet at night to avoid being seen. Has a chance of promoting people to your cause. It's not a lot of severity or infectivity, but we'll grab that. Your cult begins to grow and now meets in more open areas, attracting more people to join the cause or raise suspicion. Sure, we'll grab that too. Then we have... See, I actually recognize these icons from the Shadow Plague, so why not just do the Shadow Plague? I mean, I guess mind control does work. Don't get me wrong, the Nurax worm is fine. It's just now that we have that new plague, why not give it a shot? And of course we have our cold and heat resistance, which actually do have custom descriptions. The cult acquires the basic necessities needed to withstand cold temperatures for short periods of time, and cultists develop robes that allow skin to breathe and keep them cool for short periods of time. Drug usage, not resistance, usage. Your cultists use class 1 and 2 drugs on the regular, allowing them to make more connections in wealthy countries, because the wealthy countries are all drug addicts. That's what it means. Cultist flights. Your cultists venture to new countries that have not yet heard the news of your doctrine. They're missionaries. They're like the Mormons, or Jehovah's Witnesses and stuff. I don't know. Let's go ahead and grab a level of it. I mean, why not? A few extra planes certainly isn't going to hurt. Might go to Greenland early, you never know. Alright, so armed recruits. Your cultists arm themselves with weapon and scare others into joining their cause or beat them into submission. Slightly lethal. Mandatory uniforms. You require your followers to dress in robes at all times. Can influence others to join or make them more suspicious. One thing I'm going to go ahead and grab aeronautics. Now, it doesn't say that it does anything in the stats, so I'm not too sure what that did for us, but I'd like to think that it gives us at least a little bit more arid transmission, which is good for Saudi Arabia. UK votes for Brexit. They, of course, are being influenced by the cult. I'm going to go for propaganda broadcast level 2. Not that we have gotten into any wealthy countries yet, but we will eventually, and in the meantime, it's very effective. Now we're in the USA. So, there you go. I'm going to go for pilgrimage. That leads to pilgrimage 2. They start communities in your cult's name. Oh, good. We're communists. Well, communities doesn't necessarily mean communists, but still, I like to think there were a bunch of communist cultists. It's funny. Sort of, kind of. Some people might not be amused. I don't know. Brainwashing 2. Sure, why not? Brainwashing 3. You are able to now influence some pretty powerful people, gaining a foothold in governments, especially in wealthy and urban areas. Oh, I didn't realize that Brainwashing 2 was slightly lethal. Maybe I shouldn't have done that. I'll be fine. Aeronautics 2, by the way, again, does not show any stat increase, so I'm not too sure how much I want to waste in that. Let's go for mandatory uniforms. That leads to outlaw Judaism. You no longer allow your cultists to follow the religion of Judaism, making them dive further into your belief system. Why specifically? What are we? Neo-Nazis? Why are we specifically banning the Jews before anybody else? I don't know. Let's go for some drug and cold resistance. Why not? And yeah, I'll just go ahead and go to Greenland. Why not? Why wait? Let's just get them out of the way. That way I don't ever have to worry about it. Ooh, they actually changed the symbol here. Your cult finds governments who are attempting to put out your flame and sabotages their infrastructure, damaging their efforts. I will say the descriptions here are actually pretty good. I like them. It's actually kind of entertaining. But it still makes sense, you know? It fits the theme. Let's go for some more cold resistance. I'll probably go ahead and grab some more drug resistance now as well. Why not? There we go. By the way, if you don't know how I open up this menu so quickly, it's the Q button. That's all. I think there actually is, like, a hotkey to, is it F1? No, there is a hotkey, I think, to switch between, like, transmissions, but I can't remember off the top of my head. This is going to be a genetic reshuffle, yes? Yeah, hacking. Shuffle information on no members. See, like, these are descriptions that make sense. I like that. You kept the same stuff, which some people might say is not very creative, but you changed it enough that I, like, will totally give you a pass. You made it work. Bravo. It's not bad, yo. It's not bad at all. Let's go for Brainwashing 3. It doesn't say that that one's any more lethal. Japan starts working on a cure. Let's see. We are missing the Caribbean and a couple other islands here and there. Let's go over to the Caribbean like so. Go forth, my missionaries. Putneyism has been placed on the watch list. Now, I'm going to go ahead and start threatening people. Armed recruits. Armed recruits level 2. Even more lethal. Yeah, sure, why not? That leads to religious war. You declare all other religions of the world a lie. You spark confidence in your followers by telling them to eradicate any heretics to your cult. Very lethal. Violent doctrine. You preach violence against non-believers, calling for an eradication of those who refuse to join the cult. So eradicate and eradicates. Just saying, you got it right one of these times. Which one is it? I'm not going to tell. Let's outlaw Judaism. That leads to outlawing Islam. As you exert more control over the global population, you outlaw the worship of Muhammad, and the tenets of Islam further exalts control and violence. Or mandatory uniforms level 2. A little bit more effective and severe. Let's go for sacrifices. I know that's pretty severe, but why not? I wouldn't mind. Sacrifices 2. Your cult now believes sacrificing humans may appease the higher powers more. Increases the chance of being notified by the authorities. We could go for more planes, but honestly, I think I'll be okay as is. Let's just kind of keep moving forward. What are we missing right now, anyway? Basically, all of Scandinavia is not succumbing to my plague. Oh, take that back. The Norwegians are going for it. We just added Thor to the Pantheon, and now we're fine. Let's see. What else should we do? Let's outlaw Islam. Of course, outlawing Christianity has to follow. You further gain more control by outlawing the ideas of Christianity and all of its branches, ranging from Catholic to Protestants to Reformed to Orthodox to Coptic to blah 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 blah. Greatly increasing influence and a chance of violence. Well, we can go for a ton of lethality. What happens if I go for more mandatory uniforms? One true path. You begin to tell your followers about the glory of living as members of your cult. You fill their heads with the promise of eternal bliss. And then, bribery. You push your influence on the governments of the world, making them less likely to eradicate your cult. Once again, we have a different spelling here, so something to think about. One true path, does this lead to, like, you know, an actual victory condition? You never know. I mean, it might be. Status of a demigod. Your followers believe wholeheartedly that you are the direct descendant of an incredible being. People flock from across the globe to get a chance to meet you. Sweet. I've always wanted to be the son of a god. I'm like Heracles. What are we missing? The Philippines, huh? The Philippines, really? The Philippines are the last people to succumb to the cult. Who would have thought? Europe, the whole Western world, fell to it pretty quickly. Russia held out for a while, though. Status of a demigod. One god. You have convinced your followers you are the one and only true being. They have left their religions to follow you into the light of eternal day. I'm going to save up for that. It's not enough to just be like the son of a god. I want to be the god. I want to be the guy. You know? Infected worship Putneyism. People infected with Putneyism are reporting visions of rapture. And a glorious new, let's just say, me. Without a cure, life as we know it will be over. There is no rationalizing with the people in a cult. Can't be done. Can't be done, man. And that's going to be the end of things. Let's just go ahead and do a quick little couple levels of hacking. And some sabotage, why not? And that should buy me a teeny bit more score. Don't really need the plane. And then just go to Ukraine, it's fine. Putneyism, just another parasite. You're a little late behind on that one. More hacking. There we go. So, can we? Who have we not fully infected? Iceland? Iceland? How dare you? Alright, we'll go for some sabotage. We'll travel to Iceland. Oh, they're going to get a bit more cure progress than I think I was okay with. Now, that's the weird thing, though. Usually, once you have infected the entire world, or at least most of the people in the world, once you have that transcendence, or in our case, one god, they stop working on the cure. And yet they're still working on it very fast. So apparently Iceland is the home of some incredibly rational people who understand that occults are a bad thing, and I don't know, something. I'm not really too sure where to go with that. Putneyism enslaves humanity. The whole world worships Putneyism as their god and master. I should have just, like, called it Pravism or something, I don't know. Wish I had thought of that. Efforts to cure the plague have ceased, and humanity is entering a dark new future as a slave species to me. The whole world worships Putneyism as their god and master. That's the same message as we had before. Okay. 3 stars. Wow, I actually didn't realize that was less than a year. Well, that's not half bad. Yeah, I actually like that scenario a lot. That's pretty well done. There's a few misspellings. I would highly recommend going through the text and just going through the spell check and stuff and trying to make sure that you don't have any problems there. But otherwise, I mean, again, it's one of those things where, like, the abilities, for example, like, there wasn't a lot of rearrangement and creation of new abilities, kind of a reskinning of the old ones. But because they had good, sensible descriptions that work, they make sense, I'm totally okay with that. By the way, is this a custom picture here? I've never seen this before. Or am I just crazy? I don't recall ever seeing this before, but I don't know how you would add that into this scenario. Huh. Well, what do I know? Anyway, yeah, no, I think it's really good, and I don't think it's too easy or too hard. I mean, I got 3 stars, so maybe you can make it a tiny bit harder, but all in all, I actually think that was pretty well balanced across the board. The symptoms tree was rearranged fairly well. Yeah, no, that's good. It's a pretty good scenario across the board. I like it. Lots of good customization, a good theme, and it stayed consistent, it made sense, and it was just downright some good fun. So well done. Who created that one? What was your name? Hang on, subscribe lists. Yeah, where are you? I'll find you eventually. There you are. Panther Prance-a-Lot. Panther Prance-a-Lot. All right, well done, Panther Prance-a-Lot. I approve. Thank you all very much for watching. I do hope that you enjoyed. If so, then be sure to hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. And I, as always, will see you guys next time.